Hey guys, so today I just want to talk about my favorite 1S 65mm build that I have currently. It's kind of a formula that's well known at this point, using the 13,500 kV Happymodel motors, but I built mine a little bit differently just to make it a bit more durable. So the build specs on this little guy, I've got obviously the motors, 13,500 kV Happymodel 1102 motors. Then I've got these HQ props over here, 65mm props with, if you notice, mounting screws, which are nylon. I've got the BeeEye Canopy, pretty hard to get this actually in Australia sometimes. Over here I've got a Mobula 7 all-in-one, transmitter, video transmitter and camera. And over here I've got a Mobula 7 board as well. And connected to that, which you notice I've got a zip tie, kind of like Nick Burns recommends, to an XT30 with a cap on it as well. So there's absolutely no chance that I fry this board when I plug in a 2S battery if I need to. Yes, that's right, 2S. So while this is my favorite 1S build, it's actually 2S capable as well. Though it does require a different PID tune to do that, and I haven't quite set that up yet. And to be honest, I actually love flying this on 1S more than 2S anyway. It just gives you a nice, good feel of the quadcopter, I think, and doesn't blow out the power out of proportion, so it really allows me to feel the quadcopter flying through the air. On the bottom here, I've got a mounting pad and some rubber bands to secure the battery, and if you notice, I'm also using the Sailfly Frame. This is also has a bit of a reputation around the Facebook forums of being kind of flimsy, but to be honest, I haven't had any problems with it, and I've slammed it into the ground a couple of times on pavement and stuff like that, and really haven't broken it at all. I've got a few sort of chips in the corner of it, but not really a problem. As you can see in those crashes that I show on this video as well, it can take a beating. Got a little bit of hot glue to secure the camera in there, and that sort of just keeps it from jiggling about. And that's pretty much the build. I haven't taken off the motor plug points or anything like that. So my whole idea with this one was not so much to get it as light as possible, even though on 1S Toothpick builds it's very important that you sort of get as light as possible. It was more important to me that I could continue to fly this Toothpick and it be durable more than anything. And I think what really helps with that is those prop screws, those nylon prop screws. They're pretty cheap to buy and they don't add a great deal of weight, but I find that it really adds to the durability of this motor. So before, I've ruined two of these motors before, and that's when I was using different props that didn't have the option to T-mount screws like this. And just keeping those screws in on this 1.5mm shaft really helps with durability. And I haven't broken a motor since, to be honest, and I really have slammed this into the ground. So the origins of this sort of setup, I would have to say the first guy I saw doing it was on Instagram, and then followed him on YouTube as well. I think his name is Betafpv, and he was running a setup like this, and I was shocked that it was 1S. And then I built one, and then a few months later, I think Betafpv came out with their HX100SE, which is pretty popular right now as well. And I'd imagine that's slightly lighter than this one because it does have the BT2 connector and a smaller board, but that one isn't 2S capable, and I don't think it would be as durable, especially with those prop screws not there to protect it. As for props, let's talk about props. So as you notice, I'm using the HQ ones. They're great props. They're not the best performing props, but they are the most durable with those screws. So that's just these ones here. You can use the standard 65mm props on them. They'll fly fine. I find that these ones they just wobble a bit when you really punch it out. You can feel the flutter at the end of the props because they're quite flexible. I think these are just the King Kong 65mm props. If you want performance on this, although at the sacrifice of durability, I really like the Gemfan 65mm biblade. If you notice, it's not quite as flexible as the King Kong L-Dark ones, but they do offer good performance. But to be honest, I'm not really getting that much of a dip in performance using these, and you do get used to them. If you're looking to sort of fly more race style, your Van Blurs 2.5-inch ones are great props as well. So you can use them, but I would not recommend those for freestyle. I just think they're too heavy. Okay, so yeah, long-term review on these motors. I've been using them for almost a year now, and as I said, since I start using these prop screws on them, they haven't even broken once. Battery connection, I just got one of these GNB or Emax. I think I had a few Emax and a few GNBs around, and soldered up an XT30 to that, and it's been going great. And yeah, no problems at all. So I encourage you, if you haven't built one of these, and I know the rage right now is the 3-inch 1S, and I will be getting around to building one of those as well, but I do encourage you to build one of these because they're just awesome to fly. Alright guys, have a good one.